Information contained in this episode will have changed between recording in November 2025 and publication in March 2026. Please see our Discord for more information on our production schedule going forward. We'll be back very soon with a more up-to-date look at Minecraft and Hytale.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Withering Effect episode 192. Today's date is November 29th, 2025, and I am Duds or Duds Versus, known to the rest of the interweb.
And I'm Carl. You may know me as Carl Rides. Duds, what have you been up to recently?
Not playing games.
Same.
Yeah. So, people who've known me has known the last year and a half I've really dedicated to getting healthier. I was in a very bad spot. So the thing I've done is change my eating and all that stuff, but I've made it a point to walk like 15 to 20,000 steps a day. So I've been on that practically every single day, 7 days a week, for the last year and a half. I've lost 85 pounds. Like, things are going great. Until like this last medical examination. I go twice a year because I was diabetic. Now I am no longer diabetic. I have a history of diabetes. But the other thing is I have high blood pressure. And with me losing weight, I've actually been taking less and less blood pressure medicine. But it's still one of those things you have to keep track of. But when I went in for blood work, they also found I was anemic in other issues, mainly iron. They put me on an iron medication, told me to take some over-the-counter stuff, come back in 2 weeks. Came back in 2 weeks, and it was lower than it was the last time. So they put me on a super strength iron pill, and they told me to come back again in a month, and I came back a month, and it was even lower than the last time.
Eek.
So that started to throw red flags, and I started to get tested for some other stuff. Mainly, there were two things that they were kind of worried about. It was celiac disease and cancer. To put that in perspective, I've already been tested for cancer because I've shown flags beforehand. And my uncle just got diagnosed with cancer. So that immediately threw even more red flags. So I had to do the upper and lower endoscopy.
Oh.
Older people will know what that is. This whole thing took a little over a month, and I was not in a headspace to deal with things at the time. And on top of that, I was no longer able to walk like I was. I had some kind of injury that's caused inflammation in my foot. So along with getting cancer scare and being told I might have celiac disease, I was dealing with a foot injury that was causing me to take my one important thing I do a day, which was walk 15 to 20,000 steps a day, and sidelining it. So mentally, I was not doing well.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah, I did the upper and lower endoscopy. Turns out I'm good. No celiac disease, no cancer.
Good.
They don't know why I'm anemic, but whatever. So I go to the foot doctor. They do the x-rays and everything. Got no x-rays. They do blood work to see if it's gout. I've got no gout. Turns out I have an autoimmune disease, which means my body does not process inflammation very well. So they put me on some pills and stuff, and they're like, hey, come back in a month. So been on these pills for a month, and they has not gotten better. Matter of fact, it's gotten worse to the point where my other leg is starting to hurt now because of all the stress of trying to make up for the fact I didn't have my other foot. And then on top of that, my right shoulder hurts. So when I sneeze, I feel like I'm getting stabbed with a knife in my chest.
Ugh, it's not the best.
No. And now there are days where none of this is a problem. I'll feel 90% fine.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'm on the mend. And then the next day, like today's a bad day. I have these like packs I have to leave in the freezer. And it's like a sock that I can wear on my foot. It freezes my foot out. It's a pad that I can put on my shoulder and stuff.
That explains why you said, I'll be on the stage in a couple of minutes, I've just got to go get my sock, which confused me.
Yes, so I'm wearing an ice...
But now it makes sense.
I'm wearing an ice sock right now. If you were to see my foot, like my toe next to my big toe is almost the size of my big toe.
Oh.
And when I walk, it essentially feels like I'm walking on gravel 24/7. So, yeah. Frederick is live in the chat. He's asking what pills I take. They put me on prednisone, and it didn't do anything. Yeah, I have a feeling... it's funny because I was told I probably had celiac disease, which would mean I'd have to start eating different foods. And then I got told I don't have celiac disease. I'm good to eat what I want. Now I'm being told this autoimmune disease is probably going to affect the way I eat my food. So... yay.
Bit of mixed messages there.
Yeah. I go back to, I call it the foot doctor. It's an orthopedic. And they're the one that have narrowed it down to an autoimmune disease. So I go back next week and I'm going to tell them that, hey, not only did it not get better on that medication, it got worse. And hopefully they figure something out.
Let's hope.
I can take Aleve. 2 Aleve pills will cure like 95% of all my pain for multiple days. A lot of people, for some reason, think they need to take like multiple Aleve multiple times a day. I can take 2 Aleve and I'm good for close to 3 days. It's like 2.5 days. So I don't know what it is about that pill, but my body reacts extremely well to it. But yet my doctors are saying you need to stop taking Aleve, it's bad for you. So it's like, really? Because it's the only thing that fixes it.
So it's good and bad. More mixed messages. Yeah. We hope they find what it is and actually get to the bottom of it for sure.
Yeah. It's a long, kind of sad story, but I put that in place because my big thing is I've been in a weird place. I haven't wanted to make any content. I haven't been wanting to play any games. I haven't wanted to do anything. It's kind of depressing, but that's where I'm at. That's why I've been quiet for like a month and a half to 2 months now. It's because I was dealing with a lot of stuff at one time. I'm still dealing with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I haven't figured out how to fully process everything just yet. And then we have the holidays coming. So
yeah, it's Thanksgiving in the US.
It was Thanksgiving week, which wasn't too bad. We kind of live out of state from all my other family.
Mm-hmm.
So Thanksgiving and Christmas is generally a pretty small holidays for us. Like this Thanksgiving, we went over to my sister's house and she cooked dinner, which was really good. But like we got there at 11 and I was home by 3. It's like, it's pretty quick.
Yeah.
What about you, Carl? Hopefully you've been having a better time than me.
Well, I have in terms of medical. I'm fine.
Everyone has better medical time than me.
I won't complain about the flu I had. It seems insignificant now.
Oh, yeah. Well, and that's the other thing. My nose today has been runny. I don't know if you can hear. I sound stopped up.
No, you seem okay.
I take that as because even though my foot still hurts, I still try to walk at least 5,000 steps a day.
Yeah.
So I go outside and it was 19 degrees, freedom units outside, which is like, I don't know, -7 for you guys.
Oh no. I wouldn't be going anywhere near the outside in that weather.
Yeah.
Oh no. I'll keep mine short. I've been busy at work. I haven't had time to do anything and I'm tired. It's about it.
Nice.
It's about it. Look, I had the day off today, so I actually feel okay, but
And yet you're up at midnight recording this episode.
Yes, because that's the dedication that we provide to our listeners.
Yeah. Which will be a little different this episode. So we were supposed to be doing an episode where we created our own Minecraft updates.
Yeah.
And that got shoved to the side.
And we were supposed to be doing mending Minecraft, and that got shoved to the side.
Yes.
And why did that get shoved to the side, Dads?
Because Hytale is saved.
Woo!
Yeah, I've been fascinated with Hytale since the trailer release. I think the Hytale episode was one of our first episodes on the podcast. First 5 episodes.
Something like that, yeah. It was really early on, really early.
Yeah. Hytale, for people who don't know, is a voxel-based game, a lot like Minecraft, more based on RPG than Minecraft's exploration and creativeness. That being said, it does have a lot of the same stuff that Minecraft has. Hytale is created by the creators of the Hypixel server. They all band together to create Hytale Studios. They worked on it for a while. They released a trailer for the game, which was a massive hit, which caused Riot to buy the game, which caused a couple of the original owners of the game to sell their stake in the game. Riot kind of pushed for some things to be fixed. At the same time, some of the devs that were left over went a little crazy with the scope of the game, and it kept ballooning and ballooning, and to the point where it just never got done. I was dead set this game was never going to be finished. Riot then cancels the game, and I don't blame them at all. The game had taken forever. They have no signs of life coming from it. So they canceled it. Simon, one of the original owners, got together and said, hey, I'm going to try to buy it. It's a 1 in a million chance, but I'm going to try. Just don't count on it. Know that people are fighting for you. So I got a little excited. I messaged you.
Yeah.
I said, hey, looks like Simon's going to do this. It's going to be a long shot, but it'll be something cool to keep track on.
Yeah, we were kind of limiting our expectations at that point. We're like, it could happen, but it's very, very unlikely.
Yeah. And he kept teasing stuff, and I kept telling him, I go, hey, these are good signs. These are good signs. And we're like, yeah, we got to limit the expectations. So it's still a long shot, And then one day I see it. I was like, okay, he teased a little too hard. I know this guy has this game now. And it's just kind of like, still, you got expectations. And then it happened. He tweets out that, yeah, Hytale saved. The purchase has been complete. And supposedly Riot from the get-go was super supportive of somebody buying that game to get it out.
Yeah, they wanted it off their hands. And they were like, we might as well get some money for it.
Well, I'm sure Riot could have tax write-off the game.
Yeah.
And they probably would make more than what Simon paid for it. Again, I have no clue what the final transaction was.
Yeah.
Simon said he paid a lot of money for it, and I don't doubt that by all means, but you would think a tax write-off of this game this size would be higher than what this is. But either way, Riot was super helpful. Simon praises Riot for helping them out. Supposedly he's had access to the files from almost the get-go. So they've been working on this game for like 6 months now behind the scenes.
Yeah, they had access to it via Riot's computers, so they were VPNing into Riot's computers, and then it's only recently that they've had access on their own hardware. So they've had, Riot gave them, VPN access to the files and stuff. So that shows, what kind of company they are, that they're willing to get the ball rolling as quickly as they can and find ways to do that. Really good.
Yeah.
It was episode 10 and episode 30, by the way.
Dang. We did 2 episodes on it.
10 and 30.
I only remember the one, but...
There you go. It's been a long time.
It's been a long time. Either way, so Simon got the files. They had the old Java version, which was what he was working on before he left, and the newer version, which was going to make everything cross-play. And so I think it was C++ is what they were making it in. I'm not 100% sure. I can't be quoted on that one. But they've ditched the new stuff because they said it was years behind the Java version, and Java was faster for them to work on anyway. So they took a 4-year-old build and started piecemealing it all together to try to get the game out as fast as possible. They're calling it the Curse Breaker arc because the curse is there was a game destined to never come out.
Yeah.
They're working with a 4-year-old game. They're trying to amp it up. I think the Hytale Studio employee list is like 50 employees long now.
Yeah, mad.
So massive growth, super fast. But at the same time, they don't have to jump through the hoops like Mojang has to jump through for Minecraft. So they can put updates together extremely fast.
Yeah.
We're seeing that now. They're releasing the game here shortly. We'll get to the release dates soon. But they're also saying, hey, this is an extreme early access. Like, it's going to be buggy as all. Curve your expectations. I don't think Simon can curb anybody's expectations. They're through the roof. The fact that there's any sign of this game actually being released is insane.
Yeah.
I'm definitely purchasing it on the pre-order day 1, playing it release day 1. Pretty sure I'm going to try to take the day off work. That being said, I know it's going to be a buggy mess.
Yeah.
And it's probably going to crash and it's probably not going to work right. I have those thoughts already. But as Simon puts it, they need a lot of people to play test this game so they can learn what needs fixing, what doesn't need fixing.
Yeah.
Things like that.
I expect loads of messages from you going, I can't get it to work. It's crashing.
That might happen.
I can't do that.
That might happen. I will kind of be upset if I skip a day of work for it to just not work, period.
Yeah. Well,
anyways,
they've gone back to Java, which is good.
Yes.
They're using OpenGL to stay compatible with Mac and Linux. And then one of their developers in the Q&A said they're going to move to like native graphics then, which is Metal for Mac and Volcon for the other. So yeah, so they're keeping the cross-platform, which is good for me.
Yes. Well, it's not going to be on consoles. You're not going to play it on your cell phone.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
But that's what we've always said is Mojang's problem.
Yes.
Is Bedrock is trying to be too many things to too many people.
Yes. And now I think this is great for Minecraft because I've not been shy about the fact of the updates are not doing anything for anyone.
Volcon is Linux, apparently, according to Bedrock. So yeah, Metal for Mac and Volcon for Linux. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, basically the last couple updates have been we're going to retext your mobs and we're going to retext your copper. And that's it for the last year and a half has been copper and mobs with a couple new mobs thrown in there with a couple new weapons. I'm not sold on the spear. I think it's going to be a gimmick like the mace and not be used very often.
We've said for a long, long time that Mojang needs the competition of Hytale.
Yes.
And when we saw it going down the pan, we saw Mojang flatline.
Take their foot off the gas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just stopped seemingly caring.
Because if you remember, Hytale's trailer was right before the Nether update.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it was.
Which I stand by as one of the best updates they've ever done.
The best. Without a shadow of a doubt.
Mm-hmm.
So Mojang must be watching this. They must be feeling the heat. They must be going, oh, this is actually
end update soon.
Yeah, end update next week.
Let's talk about some of the big news that happened this week with Hytale, though. The price is released.
Ooh.
And it is competitive.
Very competitive.
Which is amazing. So standard pricing for just the base game will be $19.99. The supporter package will be $34.99. And the Curse Breaker package will be $69.99. Now, we don't fully know what's all in every package. They said supporter package will be the base game plus a couple skin stuff. And the same with the Curse Breaker. It'll be everything that's in the supporter package plus a little extra. They haven't worked out the fine details. A lot of this is to try to just help recoup some of the money that they spent to buy the game.
Yeah.
Which I fully understand. And trust me, Hytale's going to make a good chunk of that back that day. The second pre-orders go live, I guarantee you they're going to make a chunk of money.
Yeah, it's very, very aggressive pricing.
Yeah.
Very good. I was expecting higher for the standard. I was expecting $29.99 for the standard.
That's what I was expecting.
Yeah, so they got it as low as $99.99. That is very, very competitive.
Well, and Simon did say why he did it that cheap is because they couldn't do regional pricing. So you think about Brazil, where the pricing gets really skewed because of the way their market is.
Yeah.
If they were to price it $30-some, it becomes an unattainable game right there. So physically priced it as low as possible to make it easier for people to get because there's no regional pricing.
And it means getting there's not a barrier to getting your username and stuff like that because they are unique usernames, just like everyone to be able to afford to buy it and get their username all nailed down and stuff is good as well. So that's really good.
Simon did answer that they will also try, so if you have name snipers, they will also try to that's not going to really work with them. Mind you, there's no kind of like real red tape they have to go through, which is good and bad.
Yeah.
But it also means that, like, hey, if you're trying to hold somebody's name for ransom, they're just going to take it from you and give it to the other person.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, that's good.
Yeah. A lot of the YouTubers were worried about that. They're like, what do we do about our name? And he's like, yeah, they have technically already reserved a bunch of names just in case. There's that.
Makes sense.
Yeah, there's going to be a creator thing where I guess like Fortnite and stuff does it. You'll have a creator code. There will be microtransactions in this game.
Mm-hmm.
None of it will be game breaking. Like, it doesn't alter the way you play a game. A lot of it's cosmetics and stuff. There's no like custom skins right out the gate. Simon did say you could mod yourself to look like anything. Specifically, he said you could mod yourself to look like a potato. Like, that's already in the game.
It's funny.
The skin generation we're used to Java Minecraft, where you do pixel by pixel, that's not in the game. So there will be cosmetics to purchase and stuff to customize your character. Yeah, before we get into any more of that stuff, the dates, the big dates.
The dates.
You can pre-order the game December 13th, and an early access release will be January 13th.
Not long.
So,
not long at all.
Not long at all. There was rumors that they were trying to get it out before Christmas, but it took so long to get the legal documentation, they couldn't get it at that time. This was the earliest they could.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Still. It's a lot earlier than you would imagine it happening.
Yes, very much so. Now, like I said, we're skipping Mending Minecraft and stuff. It didn't really feel right to do a Mending Minecraft during an episode we're talking about Hytale.
Yeah, that didn't make much sense. I do have the winner and everything from the vote, so they're all locked in, and we'll just we'll do that next time.
Let's start with the videos that got released, because multiple videos were released of gameplay. The first one being a combat video. I was going to say something else, but yeah, a combat a combat video. And we saw a lot of the gameplay. There's a lot of cool stuff I like. One of the things I was kind of asking for in Minecraft was have technically what I call hero weapons. So they're like custom weapons you can find that have names, that have special attributes. That seems to be a thing in this game. We saw a lot of sword play, a lot of jump attacks, a bow that has a triple shot that can be charged up and used. The only downfall I kind of have right now is the enemies kind of felt like what we would call bullet sponges. They took a lot of hits before dying. So that's kind of one of the only things I'm worried about. And we don't know if that was just the fact that the hits weren't registering. So that could be part of the early access problem, is that's why it looked like they were bullet sponges, because the hits just weren't fully registering. Or maybe that's just a balancing issue.
Yeah, that'll all come with the early access, the testing. They'll balance it properly. They'll fix the bugs. I'm sure that's something that once we get to 1.0 will be dialed in.
For sure. We saw enemy encampments, different kind of, I don't want to call them bosses, because it really wasn't bosses, but different kind of villains, enemies, stuff like that. I'm trying to bring it from my memory, because the other video that released was a creative video. That was even longer. But fighting, I just remember the movement. There was a lot of different movement that was showed off in the video. And that's what I was concentrating more so on than just the combat. Knowing how the character moved, such as if you're falling from a great distance, you can do a barrel roll to kind of keep from taking damage.
So cool.
Yeah, I want to say I saw a double jump in there somewhere, but I can't remember where. There was a lot of jumping, and there was a lot of jumping higher than I thought was going to be possible in the game, because I got so used to Minecraft and how Minecraft movements are. Yeah. And this game is definitely far from that.
Yeah. I do like that they've kept the kind of like different paths though You know, like in Minecraft where you could either be like a home buddy or you can like go out adventuring and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They've got the whole settler, adventurer, craft person kind of paths that you can follow in the game, so you don't have to do the PvE or PvP if you don't want to. And I think that's really important as well, because we all play. We've talked loads about how we all play Minecraft differently, and I think this is going to be a similar kind of game as well, where we can all play it our own way, and duds can stay at home.
Yes. Well, and they've said this is more of an RPG type of game. So I'm sure you're going to get skill points that you put to different attributes. Maybe it means you can jump higher. Maybe that means you can double jump. Stuff like that. Talking about movement, I saw a tweet where people were asking for certain things, and it was put out there that gliders and grappling hooks are in the game.
Ooh.
So grappling hooks is something we've asked for in Minecraft for a long time.
I'd love a glider. That'd be amazing.
I'm wondering if it's a lot like Enshrouded. That's a game I've been wanting to get into. I just haven't. And they have grappling hooks and gliders in that game. There's no propulsion with the glider. So it's literally like original Elytra. You just got to get to a high spot and float down. And who knows if it's attached to your armor, if you have to have special armor with the glider built into it, or if it's like Battlefield's parachute system where it's always attached to you no matter how many times you use it. Something like that.
I'm just looking through some of the screenshots on Hytale's website, and this game is so pretty.
Yes.
It's so pretty. Just the colours, just no matter what time of day, whether it's like the middle of the day, whether you're in a dimly lit like library, whether you're in a forest, whether you're in like a cave, the lighting and everything just looks so pretty.
And there was actually something in the Q&A talking about the lighting, and supposedly they're reworking the lighting engine now, that they're not really that happy with it. They feel like it could be better. They feel like it's a little laggy. So especially like torches, when you're holding a torch in your hand and when you put a torch on the ground, there's a massive difference in the way the lighting works, and they want to smooth that out. So I don't know if it'll be fixed by the time early access comes.
Yeah.
But that is something they're working on now.
And if it looks this good already, it can only look better.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I'm pretty stoked with it. If we get into like the creative videos and stuff, we see a lot of paintbrushes they're using. I'm assuming, I've never used Axiom, but I'm assuming it's a lot of what Axiom allows you to do. I take it more as Google SketchUp. That's a 3D modeling software I used in college and stuff when I was doing architecture and things. And a lot of the commands and stuff feel similar to that. So there was a lot of very quick building and stuff I liked. And you would see like they were working on something and they'd mess up and they would just go and punch the block like you would do in Minecraft Creative, get rid of it, stuff like that, which is pretty cool.
It's like Minecraft Creative on steroids, basically.
Yeah. And that is, I don't want to say, because like creative mode and combat modes and those aren't the things that interest me. I'm more interested in the building and stuff. So like, we did hear that there are chests and those chests work in proximity somehow. So I'm assuming you build chests and like a crafting table will be able to access those chests if they're nearby.
Oh.
There are no automation systems built into this game. They were asked if there was going to be like redstone and stuff, and they said no, they don't plan on implementing anything like redstone. But there are other ways to do automation, and Simon specifically called out create.
I was just going to say create for Hytale.
I want to say I heard, I have no clue if that's true or not, but somebody who worked on create is now part of the Hytale group.
Interesting.
That could be completely false. That's just a rumor. It was not verified, so I don't want anyone to be like, Dud said this. I don't know.
But it'd be sweet.
It would be sweet. I mean, if you just look at the screenshots to see all the little blocks and decoration things you can do in the game already, is insane. There's going to be magic in the game, but they haven't really figured out how that's going to work itself. So it's not in early access, but I kind of can't wait to see how the magic system works. Oh, there's no hunger in the game. They use stamina instead.
Okay.
It's kind of funny though, because like when you kill mobs, they drop food. So now I know certain foods gives you certain buffs. That's another thing that like Enshrouded does. If you eat certain foods, it'll like make you a little bit faster and make you a little bit stronger, stuff like that. So I'm sure that they're going to be working on that kind of system. And I think there's going to be a bit of a cooking system from what I saw. Again, I've not seen anything confirmed, but it's been hinted at. I really just want to have this game in my hands.
Yeah, we'll have a much better idea once it's actually out. I mean, this is a mixture of like what they've said, what we've seen, and rumors. So take it all with,
You look at a lot of the Q&A, a lot of it had to do with modding. Modding's a massive part of Hytale right now, and it's being done in a different way than Minecraft. It's more of a visual modding, and they have all the systems in place already in the game to help with that. I'm not a big modder. The only mod I've ever used is Create, and I've needed someone to like hold my hand anytime we update that thing. So
yeah,
seeing how this will work, it's supposed to be a little bit user friendly.
Yeah, they're talking about like visual scripting will be our way to replace commands, and we don't plan to have like command blocks. We'd rather use something accessible like visual scripts. For asset packs, VR is a limitation we won't be able to overcome anytime soon. So that was someone talking about both commands and VR at that point. So it looks like visual scripting rather than commands. So more a visual kind of way to do it.
The world generation. Right now there are 4 zones. The world generation for early access will not be the final world generation. I think there's supposed to be zones 5 and 6 coming.
Yeah.
And it's all procedural. Adventure mode and exploration mode are essentially the same thing right now. Adventure mode was supposed to be exploration mode, but they don't have a story to really implement right now. So they've just kind of dropped adventure mode. I'm sure it's going to be added back later.
Yeah.
I think I saw your early access world can be used as a forever world. So there's that. I know they want to make it to where if you're playing in a single player world and somebody else is playing in a single player world, they can join your world and essentially their stats and stuff from their game will transfer with them into your world.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, and you might be able to link those worlds with a portal. Again, I don't think that's going to be available on early access day, but that is something I read that was in the plans. So that's going to be really cool.
It is interesting that they've said like single player will be able to be played without an internet connection.
Yes.
Which a lot of games don't do these days.
Yes.
Which is good.
I had a Minecraft crash on me and I tried to log back in, but what's the security thing that it does?
Authentication server.
Yeah, those servers were down, so I couldn't play Minecraft.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Not cool at all. Doesn't seem like that's going to be an issue, though.
Was that even on single player? It wouldn't let you do it? Or the server?
I can't remember. It's been a little bit.
Because you should still be able to say single player.
Yeah, I think you just don't have your skin on single player.
Yeah.
So, client-side mods and server-side mods. All the mods will be server-side, no client-side. They want the server to handle all of it. So what happens for one person is what happens for everybody.
Okay.
I think you're going to have a little pushback on that.
Yeah, I like the idea of that purely from a leveling point of view. Like everyone is on the same level. Everyone is seeing the thing the same. Everyone is getting the same experience.
You don't need to spend 30 minutes updating your mods.
Yes. But at the same time, for example, this is a little thing, but for example, I like to play with the dark UI from Vanilla Tweaks, where the main UI is light mode.
Yes.
You can't really do that kind of thing. I know that's very niche, but it gives an idea of why client-side mods are quite useful.
But also, we don't know if it's in the settings that you can change that.
Yeah. Again, we'll have to see.
We'll have to see. Another thing I got excited for is Minecraft runs really well with single-core PCs. So Intel CPUs are the best CPUs to run with Minecraft.
Yep.
They are able to process the information extremely quickly and all that stuff. I don't run an Intel CPU. I run a AMD CPU, which is very good at multi-threading. It's because I record, stream, play the game all on the same computer. I don't have any dedicated computers. Well, Hytale will be better with the multi-threaded computer.
Yeah.
That's a load off. That means better optimization and processing powers. So
I do hate that about Minecraft.
yes,
because
it's ancient technology.
my CPU has 8 cores and my GPU has 6 cores. And Mojang uses one of them. It's like...
Yes. Unless you play on Bedrock. If you're playing on Bedrock, it does multi-threaded processing, which is why Bedrock players have a view distance of forever.
Yeah, and we don't.
And we don't.
Maybe this will push them to update Java to that. I just want to see Mojang's reaction to this.
Bedrock in chat's talking about if we've seen Prowl's video where he's basically begging Mojang to fix Bedrock bugs. I have not, but that doesn't sound surprising. I've heard Bedrock is extremely buggy, more so now after their latest update, and the action to fix said bugs is moving rather slowly, which is something I'm excited for because with all signs of Simon working on Hytale, there will be no slow movements, period.
Yeah. Like I say, I want to see how Mojang reacts to this.
Yeah.
I feel like 2026 is going to be a very interesting year as they start to feel the heat from the competition, I would hope. Or they might just ignore it. We'll find out. But I hope they take notice, and I hope they kind of get together and go, we've really got to do some stuff now.
I think you're gonna see a lot of Minecraft players not necessarily jump ship because it's an early access game, but you're gonna see a lot of players test the waters.
Yeah, do both.
Do both. I am about as close to jumping ship as possible. I've just not had a good time with Minecraft lately. I very much feel like I've done a lot of what I wanted to do in the game.
Yeah.
And I haven't had the inspiration to go back. But yeah, I think Hytale will be a breath of fresh air. So I'm excited to see how it is. Even if it's buggy and crashes and stuff, there's hope. And that's kind of what I'm excited for. Because I don't expect this game to work right out of the box. I really expect my first hour of playing it to be lag fest, crash fest. But
yeah, Fadra makes an interesting point. He says, I think they'll wait, referring to Mojang. Microsoft has been culling gaming a lot, and I think Mojang are feeling it. I think that's probably the real reason, not the lack of competition.
Yeah.
Microsoft buying them was a bad idea, like I said when they did it.
Yeah, and Frederick's got a point. A lot of Microsoft doesn't seem to be wanting to put in the effort for gaming now.
Yep.
They were talking about their new Xbox and how they want the Xbox to be like a PC. And they want it to run Windows and stuff. And I'm like, why? Like that was the benefit of consoles, is that it ran a console OS and everything ran smooth. Like that was the best part about consoles, is it just worked. The amount of times I have to install a game and then I have to bug test it to get it working on PC.
Yep.
It's like, what?
Where a console, you just plug it in, load the game, off you pop.
Yes. And I think consoles rule for that. If I could get Java Minecraft on a console, I would rather play it on a console. But you can't.
You have to play Bedrock.
You have to play Bedrock. I ain't doing that. I think technically you could get an ROG Ally or something like that.
Yeah.
and play it on there. But I ain't about to spend that much. Prices are going through the roof on everything again.
Yeah.
And they're going to be like, why are sales down? Because you made it so expensive, nobody can buy anything. Like, they've got the Steam, I'm calling it the Steam Cube, or the Gabe Cube is what they're calling it, coming out.
Oh, yeah, the Steam machine.
Yeah. And it's going to be priced to compete with PCs, not consoles. And it's like, what? You have a proprietary design.
Proprietary OS.
Yeah. Which means you can't upgrade the system when it lags behind. But you're competing against computers, which can be constantly upgraded.
Yeah.
It's like, well, unless you want RAM. I don't know if you've seen RAM prices lately.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was looking to upgrade the RAM in my NAS. Not that I need to, because it's only sitting on like 20%. But I was just curious. And I was looking at prices. I was like, oh, maybe not.
That's all happened within like 3 weeks.
Yeah. It was literally the other day I was looking at it. I was like, maybe not. It's fine. It's on 20%. It's fine. I was just curious.
Yeah.
What the kind of pricing was on it. Radarok says, who knew that big corporations are self-interested and evil?
I don't even think it's that. It's definitely self-interested. They have a board of investors they have to constantly make things look good for.
Mm.
And that self-fulfilling prophecy.
Well, they're all into AI now, aren't they? All the money's in AI.
Yeah.
AI's got all the investment. AI's got all the hardware. That's why RAM prices are going up.
Yeah.
Because the AI companies are buying all the RAM. It's as simple as that. It's the same thing like GPUs. You had the crypto boom, and then you had the AI boom, and that's kept the GPU prices high because you could only make so many of them from the fabs. So, you can either sell them to consumers or you can sell them to AI companies who have got tons of money.
Yeah. Bradrock mentions cloud services.
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft has so much money in cloud services. I'm pretty sure that's 90% of their money.
Yeah.
Is cloud services.
Yeah.
Which I think is hilarious because they just make everything subscription based. So people left. People very rarely use like the Office 365 stuff anymore. They just go to like Google Spreadsheets, Google Docs, things like that. The conversation of no client-side mods went to, well, what about like things like Optifine and Sodium? Well, the dev responded, well, the creator of Sodium is now on the Hytale team. Ooh. So the performance is going to be very important to Simon and Hytale. So I love Sodium. Sodium is a great modification to Minecraft. So that very much excites me.
Mm-hmm. That's really interesting.
I'm sure that's what the lighting engine was getting reworked for, is because they joined.
Simon is getting some good people together for this.
Yes.
He is not messing around at all.
It's very hard to not get overly excited.
Yeah.
I know this early access, bugs, problems, but you see everything. And he's doing exactly what we wanted Mojang to do for forever. The transparency in everything. Mm-hmm. Like the release date came with like a 2-page twit longer about, hey, this is going to be early access. It's going to be buggy. Like, don't get your hopes up that this is a polished game. Don't let the first impression scare you off. Like, do not purchase the game if you think first impressions are that important. Mm-hmm. Like, that stuff is stuff I've been begging from Mojang for forever. Like, you go back to the Birch Forest debacle. Yeah, I'm bringing that back. All you had to do was say, hey, we ran out of time or we didn't get it to work right. That's why it's not in there. Instead, you went close trap, and then you do these update videos where you're only showing one thing, and then maybe later if we finish some other stuff, we'll add it to it. So now you don't really know what's coming in an update and stuff. And now these updates are super small, and they're essentially just retextured mobs with maybe one mob reworked. And it's like you look at the Nautilus. That's just a skeleton horse that they allowed to swim.
Yep.
It's really all it is. It's a retextured skeleton horse that can now swim.
Yep.
Oh, and it gives you water breathing effects. Like these are all. This is nothing new. It's just reconfigured. The spear is new. I will give them that. The spear is a new weapon. I still don't think it's going to be any good, but they tried.
We still don't have our zombie that drops sand in the desert yet.
True.
That seems pretty obvious to me.
Yeah, I don't think that's ever going to come.
Be nice, though.
Yeah, I'm looking through the... Okay, here's some more on the multiple core thing. Zero, a Hypixel and Pixel Studios admin, says it's a mix. Each world has their own main thread for the core logic, but then they can use parallel execution for some tasks. It's not perfect, and we have improvements, but they will make use of multi-core machines.
Okay, so they're using the multiple cores to
help
increase performance of things that are happening on the main core. That's how that reads to me.
Yeah.
Seems pretty good. That's the way you want it to work. You don't want them to put different systems on different cores.
Yeah.
Because you never know what hardware people have. You want one main core and then use the other cores to help with performance and backlogs and things like that.
Yeah. They spoke about like render distance and stuff, and they said when a chunk leaves a player's render distance, the chunk and its entities are unloaded to conserve RAM. I'm assuming that's a lot how Minecraft does, which is a little worrisome because I don't like the way Minecraft's unloading chunks works. I think they've gotten better over the years, but the fact that some redstone contraptions just flat out break when you leave chunks is so annoying.
Yeah, it is pretty wild.
Remember for years, the minecart, if the minecart went in an unloaded chunk, it would break. It would just stop rolling. That has been fixed. But there are other things like I dare not leave my item sorter running when I leave the chunk.
Yeah. It's super bad in Bedrock, apparently.
Yeah.
Which I do not doubt.
Oh, I don't think anything in Bedrock's good. I know people are saying it's the more popular version because there's more. I don't think it's the more popular version other than copies sold. I think if people could preference, hey, I have a good enough computer.
It's only popular because it works on a fridge. Not really, but you get my point.
Yeah, cell phones and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like, of course. Because, tablets and phones and all sorts of things. So, and the Switch version is Bedrock, I'd assume. And
it is.
Yeah, and the PlayStation version will be... Is it even on PlayStation? Did Microsoft play nice with Sony on that? I don't know.
They didn't for a while. So I had a PlayStation copy of Minecraft, and it was the PlayStation version for a long time. I ended up building a computer and moving to Java before the PlayStation version became part of the Bedrock group.
Okay. Yeah, so it's everywhere. So of course it sells more copies.
Yes.
It's just by definition. That just makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, Blockbench. So they had a creator built into Hytale during the trailer, and it was using part of Blockbench before we really knew what Blockbench was. It has been mentioned that, hey, that's not in the game anymore, but they have a partnership with Blockbench to make using Blockbench and its models very easy to move over to Hytale. I'm already seeing a ton of Blockbench stuff releasing for Hytale as it is. So, yay.
That makes sense to do it that way.
Yes.
You want to have the option there for people who want to do it, but you don't want to bake it into the game because that's another thing you need to update and another thing you need to test with every release, and and it bogs down. The binary gets bigger, and there's all kinds of reasons why you'd want to keep those things separate. So I think that makes a lot of sense as well.
Yeah. I've done a couple Blockbench models. I'm not great at Blockbench, but it is definitely one of those, the more you use it, the more natural it becomes. So, yeah. There's a lot of people worried because the texture models and stuff for Hytale are so different than Minecraft. So they're worried mods won't look like they fit in the game. And I think, again, that's just going to be something players will get used to and modders will adapt.
Yeah. They seem to be quite big on modding support, so I'm sure there'll be they'll be helping as much as they can.
I've barely gone into the modding stuff because I don't fully understand it, and a lot of the Q&A was modding questions. And since I don't fully understand modding in general, I don't think it's proper for me to speak on those. We have a link, I'm sure Carl will put in the show notes, of basically the whole Q&A. So definitely look through there, find stuff you're worried about and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. We'll put all those links in the show notes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, remember the dates. December 13th for your pre-orders and January 13th for the pre-release coming out.
You've got a $20 base edition, you have the $35 creator edition, and then you have the $70 curse breaker edition. I'm not sure which one I'm going to get. I really want to get the curse breaker edition, but I don't think I will be just yet. Simon did say you can upgrade.
Yeah.
After you've purchased the game to those. I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know if you just pay so if you bought the base version and you want to get the creator version, you're just paying another $15.
Yeah, I want to say somewhere I heard that it's basically you just pay the difference and it upgrades.
Yeah.
So I'll probably just get the standard for now, just to get it and to see what it's like and to get on board with it.
You'll have a little trouble as a Mac user at first, getting everything going.
I do like the answers they were giving to Mac and Linux support, though. They are definitely keeping OpenGL to keep it cross-platform and then move into, as we said earlier, the platform-native graphics codexes for Mac and Linux. So what I'm hearing from them is they are really on board with offering it across the three main OS platforms. I'm sure it'll come sooner rather than later, and that was my main worry, is when he started talking about not cross-platform, and I think he meant more consoles, phones, tablets than cross-platform, as in desktop computer platforms. Kind of happy to see their responses to those questions.
Yeah, there was a question asked about minimum system requirements. And as far as I know, they were testing that this week. Mm-hmm. They have not said exactly what that is yet. But they said that all they can say for now is that you will not need a new $1,000 PC. We aim to make it as accessible as possible, and we think we're in a good place now.
That's good.
There's some good news.
Yeah. So things are looking good, and we thought that dedicating this episode to Hytale was the best thing we could do. When we started hearing the release date was coming, we started seeing videos and stuff. We wanted to really dedicate this episode to it.
That being said, if you've made it this far in the episode, let us know your thoughts on Hytale.
Yes.
I have a feeling we're going to have some listeners that just don't care about Hytale and are kind of upset that we went back and did another Hytale episode, because we did have that early on. There were people who were like, no, you are a Minecraft podcast. You should talk about Minecraft. But
I think 3 episodes out of 192 is not too much to ask.
This is true. But let's face it, when Hytale becomes a full-blown release, it's going to get talked about a good bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless Mojang pulls rabbits out of their hats, which I don't think they're going to be able to do.
I won't hold my breath.
I just really don't. Yeah.
Yeah, guys. YouTube comments, Spotify comments.
Yes. Let us know what you're excited for.
Yeah, definitely. We want to know.
But I think that's going to do it for today's show.
If you like this episode, you can share it with your friends and on social media. If you listen on Spotify, rate and follow us so you never miss a future episode. Or if you listen on Apple Podcasts, leave us a nice review. Doing any of these helps the show reach more listeners. If you'd like to get in contact with us, send an email to podcast@thewitheringeffect.com. Message us on social media or join our Discord, where you can have a chat with everyone who works on the show and fellow listeners. All those links are in the show notes.
This show has been brought to you by our digital producer, Carl, and myself. The amazing music you hear throughout the show was created by the one and only Decoy. Everyone's social media info can be found in the show notes. You guys have been awesome. Thank you so much for getting withered with us. You should probably go drink your milk now. Bye.
See you guys.
1 second, Carl. I'm gonna wiggle in my seat. My butt went numb.
Wiggle, wiggle.